I'd like to hear what, I'll ask colleagues to start.
Point of order?
No.
No.
The question was not
Oh, I'm sorry.
Madam Chairman, the question was not addressed to give us pros and cons. What I heard was one pro, which was time. I've not heard the cost of a special election.
Oh, I'm sorry,
That's what I'm
anybody?
asking.
What's the cost of special?
My understanding from talking to the town clerk, the cost of a special election would be approximately $10,000.
Thank you, ma'am. I apologize. This is, we can't, guys, we cannot do this as a free-for-all. This has to be structured for no other reason than there's a lot of people, everybody wants to hear what we're having to say. Now, Chris, I'm going to take it back. It's at the Board of Selectmen discussion level right now, and that's where it's going to stay for a few minutes. And when we're ready to move it out to the public, we will. I've been very clear about how I expect people to, and I think it will be productive for us to participate. So please be respectful so that everybody at home can also hear all of the comments while Peter's taping them. Chris?
I think at this point, if the board is done discussing it, you know, we do have a lot of people here. Why don't we just allow each person a minute or so just to give their thoughts, give their opinions. If the board doesn't seem in a rush to make a decision about the special election right now, and then after that,
Hold on, Dennis.
I'd like to make a motion that we open this up to the public.
Just a point of
Just open
clarification.
the public
Well,
up.
you don't need a
Discuss
motion,
the
Dennis,
topic.
because, all right, time out. You don't need a motion, Dennis, because we've already said that's what we're going to do. But if you'd like an official motion and someone cares to second you, then that's fine. But if the
Well, that's what I just did, John.
if no one seconded you, Dennis,
Well, I understand that, but if they
You
don't...
gotta give them a chance to second them.
time out, one at a time.
That's right, one at a time. I was speaking, Madam Chairman, and if you don't mind, I would appreciate the respect enough to be able to speak until I'm done.
Well, no one made a
So I made a
second.
motion, and I'm asking if there's a second.
I asked if there's a second, and I don't know.
I'll second.
All right, Chris, thank you.
Thank you.
So we will move to the piece, and we ask the public, as I indicated earlier that we would.
Yeah.
I'm going to start at this side of the room for no particular reason, and I'm going to move this direction over here. I ask you to remember the ground rules. Please speak clearly, identify yourself, so that everyone can hear you on cable television when Peter's taping. Please be brief, try not to be redundant, so we can move everything along. I'm going to, Charlie Ryder.
Charlie Ryder, Chairman of the Advisory Board. Our process doesn't really start until we get the budget. So, but as a background, we've been warning in the warrant for the last 4 years that we're facing a debt exclusion or some sort of an override. And we thought it was going to come out not last year, but Phil was able to find enough cuts in the budget to accommodate. Now, in the last 2 years, we had a level funded budget 2 years ago. We had a 1.5% decrease last year, and we're looking now at a 15% decrease. And I think one of the biggest mistakes we've made over the years is to try to finance the schools with everyday money. We should have gone for a debt exclusion override.
We're on the part where we're talking about the special election. If you could restrict your comments to that, that would be greatly appreciated, just in the interest of staying focused on the agenda, the business in front of us, and we will get to the rest of that subsequently in the meeting. But if you could, I would appreciate it.
Well, as far as whether we should go for a special election, I would be against it, because we don't really have enough time to tell the public what kind of an override we're looking for. And believe me, I really believe that we need an override, mainly because we're using everyday monies to finance the schools, which those monies should be used for our everyday budget. And that represents about $1.4 million what is it, Phil, 2 million? We're looking at a deficit?
Well, let's stay focused on, it's a significant sum.
Man's asking a question.
People, we will never get any business accomplished if we don't stay focused.